Hello YouTube family, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joseph Sampa. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do hit the subscribe button. For those who have already subscribed, thank you so much and God bless you. There's a bit of wind in the background outside, so if you hear the wind, don't mind that. So today I want to talk a bit about apologetics. So why apologetics? Why is apologetics so important? Why does Joseph keep emphasizing apologetics? I'm sure some of my friends are frustrated by now because I often talk about apologetics. So why do I think apologetics is important and why do I keep talking about it? First of all, I think apologetics is very interesting. And second, I think it's a very important tool that we need in the Christian world today. The reason being is that, most of us go to church because we're raised that way and we read the Bible and so on and so forth. But we don't really we're not really trained to give a reason for why Christianity is true or why we believe what we believe. Now, granted, not everyone will agree with you, even if you try to show evidence as to why you believe Christianity is true. There will always be people who will disagree with you because for them, maybe the evidence just doesn't persuade them. And you have to be okay with that. So the reason why apologetics is important is because even other religions out there use apologetics and are into apologetics. Islam, for example, the Hebrew Israelite movement, many different people who believe different things will defend what they believe. So every other religion out there is also using apologetics. Now, why is this important? Well, probably because you or your family members or your friends will run into Muslims or Islam. They'll run into Hebrew Israelites. They'll run into Jews, whether Orthodox or maybe Messianic, I don't know, but they'll run into Jews. They'll run into Buddhists. They may run into Hindus. They may run into Sikhs or the religion of Sikhism. Or they may even run into what people are now calling the ancient Kemetic spirituality, which is basically going back to Egypt, because the old name for Egypt is Kemet. So going back to the belief system that was around at that time before Christianity came to Africa. So going back to ancient Kemetic spirituality. So if you run into all these people, they'll bring their views to you, and you as a Christian will have to be able to defend the Christian faith in a respectful and gentle way. So that's why it's important. So I believe it's time for the church to start equipping and training people on how to defend Christianity and why Christianity is important and why we have reasons for thinking that it's true. So I think the church needs to wake up to that. I'm not saying they don't do that. There are many great apologists out there. Ravi Zacharias, who recently just passed away, may his soul rest in peace. You have people like Dr. James White. These ones I'm mentioning are the ones that I personally follow. You have David Wood. You have Nabil Qureshi. He passed away as well, may his soul rest in peace. You have Frank Turek. You have Abdul Mary. You have the many Vodi Balkan, the many Christian apologists out there. So that's why apologetics is important, is because you will run into people from different religions. And so I just want to also state that you don't have to know all the major world religions in order for you to defend Christianity. Maybe you can choose one that you're interested in. For me, since 2016, it has been Islam. I've chosen to look into Islam because it's very similar to Christianity. And so my focus has been on Islam, but I try to get basic understanding and information from other religions as well. So you don't have to know everything because it's difficult to exhaust all the world religions out there. So maybe you can focus on one and have basic information on the other worldviews or the other religions out there. And also, I like what Vodi Balkan said. Every Christian is called to be an apologist. When you read 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15, it's all of us. And also, it's not for special forces Christians. So you don't have to be a scholar in order for you to be an apologist. Vodi Balkan put it this way. He said, Being an apologist is knowing what you believe and being able to communicate that effectively to others. So if you know what you believe and you can communicate that effectively to others, you're an apologist. So that's why it's very important. All Christians are called to be apologists. And so that's why I think it's very important, because you will run into people who ask you questions and they'll need answers. Let me just read 3 passages quickly from the Bible that show us that we need to engage in apologetics. The first one is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. 1 Peter 3, verse 15. It says, "Instead, you must worship Christ as Lord of your life. And if someone asks about your Christian hope, always be ready to explain it." Always be ready to explain it. The second one is Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 to 9. This is the Apostle Paul. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 to 9. It says, "Don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world, rather than from Christ. For in Christ lives all the fullness of God in a human body." That's up to verse 9. Then the last one, Jude 1 verse 3, the book before Revelation. It says, "Dear friends, I have been eagerly planning to write to you about the salvation we all share. But now I find that I must write about something else, urging you to defend the faith that God has entrusted once for all time to his holy people." So that's why we need to engage in apologetics. It's very important. The Bible asks us to, and every Christian is called to be an apologist. Everyone. You don't have to be a scholar. It's good if you get scholarship, but all of us are called to be apologists. God bless you guys, and please subscribe to my channel.